Good morning. It's Tuesday, April 26th, 9:30 a.m. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to start with a prayer, please. Heavenly Father, we beseech your divine guidance in this meeting. Keep us ever mindful of our obligation. Grant us, dear Lord, wisdom, tolerance, and courage that we may well serve our county and fulfill our trust. Amen. All right. And I believe we have minutes here.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes. All right. First off, public comment. Any public comment regarding any of our pending resolutions? Seeing none, go ahead and proceed. We've got the County Engineer's Office. Dan Becker. Good morning.
Morning. Wasn't ready. I'm not always first.
Morning, Dan.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. I've got 5 resolutions for your consideration today. First resolution is accepting and awarding the 2022 Medina County chip and seal bid. The second is accepting and awarding the bid for the Medina County 35 1.79 PID rehabilitation project for the bridge on Friendsville Road. The third one is determining the necessity to close Westfield Road between the Village of Westfield city limits and Seville Road. The fourth one is a resolution finding of public welfare and convenience for the replacement of the Chippewa Drive main bridge in Lafayette Township. And the fifth is a resolution finding that public convenience and welfare requires the reconstruction of the Chippewa main drive in Lafayette Township. And then the weekly permits.
I'll make a motion to approve the 5 resolutions.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussions?
Appreciate getting that bridge done in Chippewa.
Yeah, I bet the people
That has
do
been
too.
a long time
Oh, yeah.
in coming, and it was really a collaborative effort
Yes, it was,
amongst
yeah.
a number of different groups to get it.
It was one of those bridges you mark on a map and don't ever drive over, so I'm
Right.
glad to see it going. Thank you.
All right. Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
right.
Hudson?
Yes.
Hambley?
It's okay, we're
Yes.
going to vote yes.
All right, very good. Next, we have Jeremy Sinko, sanitary engineer, who I understand it's your birthday.
It is, thank you.
Yeah, all right. Well, we've got something for you. A little surprise.
Oh,
And you have to open it.
Yeah, you do. On camera, sorry.
this isn't a change order, is it?
No, that's usually your gift to us. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate all these snacks, because they might be gone by the end of this meeting.
Happy birthday.
Well, I appreciate
Happy
it, thank you, everybody.
Amen.
So we cake, there's additional snack packs.
I see, okay.
Well, hopefully everyone's hungry.
Yeah, okay. And we won't do any singing, so in which case we'll go ahead.
Appreciate that.
If you, we'll proceed.
2 resolutions for consideration today. The first is authorizing the sanitary engineer to enter into an agreement with CT Consultants for professional design services. This is for a hydraulic water model for our Southern and Chatham 162 tower districts.
Good.
The second is authorizing a memorandum of understanding with the city of Medina to replace the existing sanitary sewers located in South Prospect Street as part of the city's South Prospect Street reconstruction project.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2 resolutions.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Don't mind
birthday.
me if I'm
All right.
munching in the back.
Keep it down.
Yes, really. Human Resources Director, Holly Murin. Good morning.
Good morning, Holly.
Good morning. We have 3 resolutions. On our personal changes resolution, there's a new hire at Job and Family Services, 9 rate increases for maintenance, a rate correction at Job and Family Services, a promotion at Job and Family Services, and a leave of absence in sanitary. Second resolution is approving the wage increases for Job and Family Services under the collective bargaining agreement. And the third resolution is approving wage increases for the maintenance repair workers under their collective bargaining agreement.
I'll make a motion to approve the 3 resolutions.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussions? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes, sorry, I was too.
That was a quick,
So are these the last of,
There's
One more?
one still outstanding.
okay, all right, very
Okay,
good.
very
Thank
good.
you.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Good work.
Good work, Holly,
Thank
yes.
you. Yeah. Next, Scott Miller, our County Administrator.
Good morning.
Good morning, Scott.
I have 2 resolutions for you today. Actually, 3. Are you presenting yours? Okay, I've got 3 resolutions for
Okay.
you today. The first one is accepting the proposals and awarding a contract for furniture and related services for Medina County Courthouse project. We actually talked to 3 different companies that are all registered with the State of Ohio Administrative Services Purchasing Co-op.
Mm-hmm.
And we had them submit typicals, and WB Mason had the lowest price with the most appropriate furniture. So we're going to go ahead and select WB Mason to provide that furniture. The second resolution is accepting and awarding a quote for the Township of Brunswick Hills demolition project. This is a CDBG project, and this is actually demolition of a structure there in Brunswick Hills. And the third resolution is for economic development, and it is approving a community reinvestment area agreement and a community reinvestment area compensation agreement for the Nelson family properties.
I will make a motion to approve the 3 resolutions.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussions? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Very
Scott.
good. Thank you. Amy Lyon Galvin, our county, Assistant County Administrator.
Good morning, Amy.
Good morning.
I have 6 resolutions for your consideration this morning. The first one is amending the appropriation measure resolution. The second is amending the 2022 appropriations resolution by transferring appropriations. The third is amending the agreement for service coordinator between the Medina County Family First Council Early Intervention Program and the Medina County Health Department. This is to account for the additional $5,622 they got in funding effective through the end of that fiscal year, June 30 of 22. The fourth is authorizing the advertisement for bids for the CDBG funded Village of Lodi Park Improvements Project. The fifth is allowing expenses of county officials. And the sixth is approving claims for the week in the amount of $1,753,077.10.
I will make a motion to approve the 6 resolutions.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussions? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
Amy.
much. Kathy Brighton Booker, Economic Development.
Actually, Scott already-
So I was just going to ask you, did he just upstage you? Oh, well, okay. Well, given that, I just want to make sure, though, we're taken care of. Okay.
She granted him permission to do.
Okay,
so.
I know. Well, she always likes to talk a little bit more than just about the resolution, so that's okay. But that's okay. We'll catch you another time. How's that? Okay, good morning. All right, department updates. Debbie Kiley, Job and Family Services Director. I think we have resolutions here, too.
Yes, I actually have 6.
Several.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
I
beat
never
Amy
have
this
as many
time.
as
You
Amy.
really did, yeah.
Yeah, I counted them this morning. I was like, all right. 6 for your consideration this morning. The first is authorizing the county auditor to transfer funds from the Children's Services 4E Fund to the Public Assistance Fund. The next is, the county auditor transfer funds from the Children's Services SCPA Fund to the Public Assistance Fund. And then another authorizing a foster recruitment and retention grant. And the next is our annual CCMEP TANF Summer Youth Program with Tri-County Jobs for Ohio graduates. The next one is the county auditor authorizing them to transfer funds from the General Revenue Fund to the Public Assistance Fund for the mandated share. And then I believe the last one is just us amending our current PRC plan.
I will make a motion to approve the 6 resolutions.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Got you mid-drink. And then for department updates, I am going to deviate from my usual all-division updates and just talk to you about the Child Protective Division. In March, if you recall, I shared with you that we had 92 children in care in just a mere 2 weeks in April. In that 2-week period, we had 102 children. All 10 of those children came to us in one single day. Just 3 days after that, we received emergency custody of another 6, and that happened all in one day. So as of yesterday, when I pulled reports, the division now has 134 children in care. And if I did my math right, that's a 47% increase in 1 month alone. So as you can appreciate, that amount of children in care is not sustainable for the current staff that I have. The workers are exhausted. These placements require visits within 7 days of placing a child, monthly visits for the children and their families, not to mention court hearings, provider contacts, transporting the children, data entry into the software system, and I am currently down 2 workers in that division as well. There are currently 15 workers, beginning to end in the case management process, including permanent custody when that's necessary. So new staff are coming. I have 2 coming, but they won't be onboarded until mid-May. But even a team of 17 workers who have become parents of sorts for 134 children do need my support. I'm in a position currently to, and would like to rewrite the job descriptions for 2 vacancies that are on my table of organization, and those are the 2 adult protective workers that went to the Office for Older Adults. In rewriting those 2, what I'd like to do is make one another Public Children's Services worker, a PS2. So that means they would be on call, answering pager, and would also assume a caseload. Currently, the caseloads for each of these workers is about 20 to 25. Each case includes sometimes 6 children, sometimes 8 children, sometimes only 1. But a lot of times those children are located throughout the state of Ohio. They aren't just located here in Medina. So even that transportation is a burden. The other vacancy I would like to rewrite as a case aide. We currently have 2 case aides, and they help with visits over at the Family Center as well as in our office. And they also do transportation of some of those children to and from doctor's appointments, and they also supervise visits in my office. There's also a myriad of data entry that has to happen from a social work perspective into a system called SACWIS. Every visit has to be documented. Every doctor needs documented. Every medication the child is on and off and back on or different needs to be documented in the system. So these social workers are out in the field doing protective work, trying to keep these children safe as well as have them visit with their families. And then they're also being asked to be data entry clerks. So I'm hoping that this case aide could take on some of those tasks as well as scanning documents into an electronic document management system. So my social workers are out there doing the work that needs to be done. The revenue for the division will support this. Both current and state federal dollars have been very generous from Governor DeWine's administration, and the levy dollars are an exceptional benefit too. Our current child protective cash balance I've been incredibly mindful of for reasons just like this. You never know when you might have an influx of children in care, as well as individuals, those children that are in residential facilities. If they don't meet a certain level of care, then Job and Family Services throughout the state of Ohio is responsible for payment 100%, and they won't receive any federal reimbursement. Do you have any questions for my request?
I do. So if I recall correctly, 6 years or so ago, there were something in the 60s in terms of the number of children in protective service. And then I remember going up to 70. Then it seemed like it jumped up to 90. So I guess it would be helpful from my standpoint if we could see something that shows the trend over the last 5 or 10 years in increases in the numbers.
5 or 10 years?
Yeah, just so that if 134 is a anomaly, I would hate to staff up for an anomaly, but if it is part of a continuing trend, then I think it's appropriate.
I think it's part of a continuing trend throughout the state of Ohio. I don't believe it's unique to just Medina County. At a directors meeting yesterday with other public children's services directors, they are talking about the same thing, about mental health has become an exponential factor in the reason why we're receiving children in care. And it's not only the mental health of the children involved. Sometimes they're going through the juvenile justice system, and then they're turning around and the parents are voluntarily giving custody to Job and Family Services to become the parent. And then there's also some mental health issues that are occurring within the children themselves too, as well as outside of the family within the parents too.
So this is more of a societal change going on. I mean, as you said, since it's not just Medina County.
Correct.
Statewide and elsewhere. Are there some also demographics, other demographic factors that are feeding into this? Or are we just kind of seeing what other, like, more urban counties have seen just before us?
The amount of cases that we're seeing from a sexual abuse perspective are increasing.
Yeah.
We currently have, I have those statistics here. There's 15 currently that are of sexual abuse or neglect. Sometimes the children are the offenders, sometimes
Mhm.
they're being offended on. Last year, I think we only had 3. There is currently 85 that are in our care because of physical abuse, and whether that's from a parent or an aunt or an uncle or whomever, but someone is physically abusing the child. And then there's actually only, I shouldn't say only, but there's 8 that are dependency cases. So that's where parental guidance is not appropriate, and they've been given to Job and Family Services. We've also seen an increase in calls, too, that are coming into the agency. We had 233 calls from March 1st until yesterday, and those were calls that we didn't take in. Those were calls being reported to Job and Family Services, suggesting that there might be abuse or neglect situations, and we deemed it not necessary for us to become involved. A lot of times when those calls come in and we don't become involved, we don't open a case, we're still making referrals to other entities, other resources, other providers. There's been a handful of them that have come in that they weren't in our county, either sometimes, because we're contiguous, obviously, with other counties, we get a call with someone that's just like right over the border, so then we refer them to another county. So it's still 233 calls that even though we didn't open those cases on, we still had to digest information, determine whether we're going to open it, and if not, then refer to services.
So did you, I guess, asking your best professional judgment, you don't anticipate to see a decline?
I don't.
If anything, it'd be maybe just stabilize, even under the best circumstances, and not go up much higher. So given that your response, you don't see it declining, obviously I'd be supportive to do what you need to do
Thank you.
for the reorganization and reassignments.
And just for perspective, we
Mhm.
currently have 35 children in care, and they've been in our care for greater than 24 months. And there's 78 children in our care that have been in our care for less than 12 months. So the timeline for care is 12 months to reunify with a family, and then we can extend it by the court for another 6 months, and then another 6 months, and then they can continue to do some additional extensions. But the family has 12 months to reunify with their child, and if not, then we take them on as a permanent custody case. That means parental rights have been severed, so those children will not be reunified with their family, and then the work within Job and Family Services remains. Just because we've taken permanent custody doesn't mean that we get to step out. Now we have to try and get the child adopted.
Of the 138, do you have like an age range? Do you have many that would be 16 or 17 and would be transitioning
Aging out,
out soon?
Yeah, great question, and the font is so tiny. From ages 10 to 15, there are 20. So they age out at 18 years old. So if these children don't reunify with their family, there are 20 of them for the next between 3 and 8 years that will remain with me. And then 16 and up, there are 20.
So has the length under the county's care increased over time then, typically? Has it gotten longer, stayed about the same?
It's been longer,
So the ones that are coming in are actually staying longer than in the past.
correct.
When Bill was talking about 5 years ago, it was a much lower number. And so I guess that would be my question is, were those shorter times too?
And I'm not sure I can grab that data
Okay,
because the SACWA system that I have right now is, I believe, I could probably get data from 5 years ago. Longer than that, I probably can't
Right,
get because
right,
the
okay.
system's
Okay,
old,
whatever.
not as
Would
old
you-
as 5 years.
Do you want to wait till next Tuesday then to approve?
Oh,
Will you gather some information?
I'm all right with going ahead and proceeding with that, because anticipating no decrease, no decline, it just makes sense to go ahead and prepare to do this. The question is what additional resources might be needed in the future if this continues? And how do we deal with it as a much larger community problem? Because obviously some underlining societal issues, the breakdown of the family, just start going down the list. And what we can do in terms of, we do have as you indicate, mental health, there's all these other aspects that are coming into play. And if we are seeing a marked increase and continue, then obviously there's other things that have to be done to, beyond us, to try to help overcome.
And as much as I become exhausted by staff turnover, I won't staff just for the sake of staffing. I don't believe in that. I believe in running my agency as lean and as effective as possible. So if these staffing levels are increased because there's an increased need to cover these children and to keep these children safe, when turnover occurs, if these numbers go down, those positions will not be replaced.
Okay, if
Right.
that is the case, then
Yeah.
go ahead.
And the two positions you're talking about are
Already-
already part of TO.
Correct.
Right.
Mhm.
But they're open and they haven't been able to fill, and you're having staffing issues like every other organization and business
Mhm.
out there.
And
Yes,
both
yeah.
of the positions, they're what they call PS2, so Protective Services 1s.
Okay.
I'm asking for one to be a 2, which is a little higher, but the other one to be less. It will be a case aid.
Well, I think administratively, you're making the right decision
Thank you.
in terms of helping the process. And as you say, devoting the time and effort of our licensed social workers versus just, filing reports and going through the administrative stuff makes a lot more sense.
And I'm afraid if I don't do this, my staff turnover will become exponentially greater because they're already so tired. And the amount of overtime that's happening too, because there are more kids in care and less workers to provide for them. It will more than likely be a cost savings in the long run.
So Debbie, where are these kids? Are they in foster homes, or where are they resident?
There are 16 in residential care right now, and none of those residential care facilities are in Medina County. So when we have to do those monthly visits or transport medication or whatever, those workers are traveling out of county. I have one
But
worker. Sure.
excuse me, when you say residential, you're talking about in a facility?
Institution, correct.
So, how many, are the rest of them then with foster families here in Medina County?
Correct. Yes, there are, 134 minus 16
Okay,
are in foster
118.
care.
okay. So then my other question is there, I've heard a lot about the mental health issues associated with the last 2 years in COVID
Mhm.
and isolation and so forth. Is that a contributing factor to the increase?
That's really hard to answer because when we're talking to families, there are so many facets of what's going on with them that if good is one of them, it's probably the last thing that we're talking to them about because we're more often talking to the families. I will say that there is mental health, but above and beyond that, it's drug and alcohol, substance use that brings us into care. So whether that's because of isolation that happened within these, were we in our 3rd year of COVID now? It could possibly be, but I think that is probably the secondary, if not tertiary reason, COVID.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably mental health
Down the
factors.
list. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank
Yeah.
you.
Sure.
I guess we have consensus on approving the changes.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
Sure.
Any other good news for us?
Thank you, Debbie. All right. Shannon Ryan, our Transit Director. Good morning.
Shannon?
Oh, that was enlightening. Good morning. I just have a monthly report, some highlights of what's been going on in transit. Our ridership has remained pretty steady. We saw an increase in our demand service, but a little bit of a downtick in our fixed route, and we're looking at our strategic planning, and I'll talk about that in a second to respond to that. Fuel costs continue to go up. It was over $22,000 in the month of March. On average in '21, it was in the 15,000 range. So we've been working with maintenance and finance to talk about some options for fuel purchases. I'll have more about that. Glad to hear about it, excited about the possibility of us being able to purchase fuel at a little bit better price through the county partnership that we have. So I'll have more about that. Just some good news on the fuel front. Another high point is our Easy Fare sales in March of '22. It was $621.95. That's the highest we've seen. Year to date is $1,522.50. And the highest point of total sales that we've seen is it's now at 18.53%. So that is a big tick up. We had a 14%. So we're really, I say that because we're leveraging technology very hard right now. Some of our discussions lead us to what can we do better to communicate with the public? What can we do better to allow them to pay? A cashless system, which people feel very comfortable with now. We're talking about everything from smart cards to tapping on the device. We're working on some things that'll really help us to market us well. Going into the steering committee meetings, a lot of engagement, some great ideas. We have a lot of interested folks in making it better and a lot of good ideas. So I think we're going to see some really positive results in the long run here. The short-term piloting and the long-term results to make it more accessible to everyone. We can do more with transit. We just have to really leverage the technology with the amount of vehicles we have. We're having virtual stakeholder meetings that I've been a part of each one, adding some things, listening a lot, confirming some things that we knew, but adding some new thoughts to the topics of conversation. We have some public speaking. I'll be going after this to junior leadership to speak to a group. I think we're going to hear a different perspective from them, and I'm excited about engaging the junior leadership, getting that youth perspective. The other things that are kind of working on right now that, you know, is just part of our daily business is a trainer review. That's a 4-year review rather than a 3 because they didn't have one due to COVID, so it's 18 through 21. We've submitted twice. We're waiting for the response, so that's an on and on process until we conquer that. The team's confident in what we're submitting, but there's always some new things. We also have the 2021 Ntd Report, which is our national transit database, which allows us to input everything from fuel to mileage to ridership, which is just takes some time. The team's working very hard on that. Part of some NOACA planning committee meetings coming up with Commissioner Hambley. Excited to speak about that at a very positive level to integrate our systems with the region. We had a stakeholders meeting, a virtual, and I brought up the idea of connecting all the surrounding counties with public transit. And it's a popular idea. It's lofty, but if we do it right, we may be able to give some access to some of the things that I've heard Debbie speak about transit around from county to county. What can we do? What's possible with funding coming along and grant writing at a very high level right now. It's coming from a lot of different angles, the state and the federal level. So we'll be putting together some grants here soon to work on some new vehicles, hopefully some more technology. I think we just have to get smarter with what we have and get that passenger per hour up, and I think we're going to do that. So far.
Excellent. Super. I know GCRTA has been pushing their easy fare system, and the last I heard, it was going very well. They were getting a lot of compliance, and we're very excited about it.
Absolutely. It took the NeoRide group that I'm a part of about 8 months to get them convinced. Their new CEO, India, and I had a good conversation about how it worked for us on a smaller level. They have a pretty big system, but yeah, they have an event coming up in Cleveland that I've been invited to go up and kind of tell people about what it means to us. So could be a part of something like that possibly. But yeah, it's definitely growing. Cashless system. It just makes people more aware, and it makes transit a little bit easier to ride and plan. So yeah.
I was in Richmond 2 weeks ago and took the train into DC.
Been on that train.
It was, I never touched a paper ticket. I ordered the tickets on my phone. They came to me on my phone. When the conductor came down to check, I just held my phone up, he scanned the QR code, and that was it.
That's currently available on our systems right now, and folks are finding that out.
It was very convenient and very efficient.
It'll also be interesting, the information you gather from the younger leadership people, because they are the Uber generation, so.
Yep. Well, we're going to be the Uber system soon enough.
We, you know,
Although that's trademarked, but
yeah, I don't want to say the word out loud. That's why you can say Uber Light.
yeah, that's okay.
There is a need in our county for more transit, and I think when we make the folks aware that need it, we're going to see an increase in ridership. We just have to do it measurably. Very, very cautious to put out a lot of word about what we can do until we build it up to a system that is user-friendly and capable providing all that transit, so.
Yeah, I just want to comment, because as we start talking about our connections within the region, also and Shannon's been part of this and moving forward, that our communication is just not with Summit County and Collier County, but also Wayne County. And the connections there, particularly if you're talking about the communities of the southern tier, if you will, and Lodi area, likewise, those connections that are very, very possible, very practical, being able to enhance transportation is just as easy if someone from Lodi going down to Worcester to their commercial area. In fact, easier to go down there than it is to make it all the way over to Fairlawn or up to Strongsville or wherever. So I think we are exploring that and working cooperatively with those adjoining systems. So it's not just going to be just with the urban systems, but also with someone like Wayne County.
I reached out to Ashland County and got a good response, and
Yeah,
she was on the
sure.
last call.
Right.
So the CEO is excited about what we could do. It's good conversations to have with the money coming, and what can we do measurably.
So I know in the past, a lot of our conversations have typically been Medina Central, maybe a little Brunswick, a little Wadsworth, but now we are also talking about the southwestern and the western part of Medina County and connecting them. The Lodi area, in many areas has been underlooked, and I think there's areas that we can expand and provide transit, I think, more efficiently, effectively for them.
A lot of good work.
Very good, oh, indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks,
for everything
Shannon.
you're doing. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Super, all right. Next, Stacy Malacher, our Medina County Board of DD. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
How are
morning,
you guys
Stacy.
today?
Good,
All
how
right,
are you?
Good.
Good. So just a few updates for you. April has been Autism Acceptance Month. And just a reminder that 1 in 54 kids are diagnosed with some type of autism. So you're seeing steady growth with that. Additionally, we're seeing a steady growth with the children we serve from 0 to 3 in our EI program. So there's a steady growth for that area. Friday, we were fortunate to have Director Kim Hauk. She is the new director of the State Department of Developmental Disabilities. She came out to visit. We were very pleased to have her come out. She's been traveling the state. She just started the beginning of the year, so we were excited to have to be one of the first areas that she came out. And you know, she shared with us that, you know, her tenets for the state is really looking at workforce crisis, looking at use of technology, and, you know, how do we increase independence of people with developmental disabilities, and the mental health and behavioral health areas. And, you know, so all areas that we are working with in our strategic plan. But it was a great visit. Her start is special ed, early intervention, so we did the school tour, and it was really nice to see the director that really was connected with the people we serve. So we were very pleased with that. Our preschool, speaking of schools, had a surprise visit from the licensure, and they got their 5 stars, stepping up to quality rating, as always. I mean, it's the norm for them to get that, but they do a great job. I wanted to make you aware that May 7th, we are doing Shred Day over at Windfall at the Achievement Center from 10 to 1. So people are welcome in the community to drop off anything that they'd like shredded, and we'll take care of that for them. And I know I saw that today we're recognizing Melanie Caston
Caston
Krause.
Krause, yes.
She just, I want to put my 2 cents in that. Just outstanding service for Medina County and for people with developmental disabilities, well deserved. So really great. Any questions?
I do, Shred Day.
Excellent. Yes.
So is there a maximum amount of stuff
Until
people
we-
can bring?
Until we fill the truck. So yeah. First
Okay.
come, first
So
served.
do they shred it on site, or do they
take it
take it away?
off-site, yeah.
Okay,
In a
All right.
secure truck, so that's all
Okay.
confidential and all that.
got it, all right.
Yeah.
I don't see Brian here, but maybe we could put something in the newsletter.
That'd be good.
about it.
Yep.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Get the word out.
And I'll bring up the performance audit. I guess the board met last night.
And approved it. Yes, we had a very good discussion, and I appreciate Colleen was there, and She answered some questions that the board had, so, yep, so we're looking forward to that, moving forward, and
Very good.
I think it's going to be very, very helpful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Appreciate the
Yes.
board's support for that.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
thank you.
Anything else?
All right.
Super.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Stacy. Appreciate
All
the
right,
update.
next. Carol Lawler, Board of Elections Director. You're not busy at all, are you? Just, okay.
Ramping up there, yes.
Good morning, Carol.
One more week.
Yes,
Yeah.
7 days to go. Next Tuesday is the May 3rd primary. It's an even-numbered year, so different type of candidates are on this year than in the odd-numbered year. We have state candidates, judges, and countywide candidates on the ballot, as well as 9 issues throughout the county. Right now, we're doing early absentee voting in person at the Board of Elections office, and that started April the 5th. This week, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. People can come in and vote in person. And this weekend, we're also open Saturday for voting 8 to 4 and Sunday 1 to 5. The last day to be able to come in and vote in person will be Monday, the day before the election, May 2nd, and it's just 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And after that, you're going to need to go to your polling location on Election Day. Our preparation began, February 2nd, when we had the filing deadline for candidates and issues that were going to be on the ballot. And we started training poll workers March 7th, and to date, we have 549 people trained. And then March and April, we tested all the voting equipment and the electronic poll books, and that has to be done before every election, even though, we're having another election here, so we have to do it all over again. Mid-April, we had representatives from our Board of Elections visit area nursing homes. The residents were able to request ballots, get in their applications, and then we need a bipartisan pair take their ballot to them and assist them if they needed with reading or marking the ballot, or just to deliver it and bring it back to the Board of Elections. So we've got the nursing homes completed. Last week, April 21st, we did the public test of our vote tabulation equipment, and that all passed with flying colors. Election day then is Tuesday, May the 3rd. The polls will be open at 6:30 a.m. until 7:30 p.m. Some current statistics. Right now, in person, we've had 1,527 people come through the door as of yesterday. Absentee ballots requested by mail, we've had 1,836, and about 44% have been returned already. The nursing home ballots that were voted, we had 102 people voted, and people, I don't know if people understand that you can come in and have a hand-carried ballot also. So if you don't want it mailed to you, you can come in and request a ballot. They'll print it right up for you, and you take it home, and you have that option to vote it at home. We've already had 88 people come in and ask for a hand-carried ballot. 37% have come back, returned for counting. And let's see, ballots can be returned in person, by mail, or we also have the 24/7 monitored drop box located right out the door of the entrance of the Board of Elections at 3800 Stonegate Drive. We're right behind Hobby Lobby and Lighthouse Pools there. If you're going to mail your ballot, it needs to be postmarked the day before the election. And if you bring it in person, whether into that drop box or walk it into our office, it has to be by the close of polls at 7:30 on Election Day, May 3rd. One other thing, I do have an advertisement. We're looking for a clerk that is a Democrat. It's a full-time position, and we have it advertised on our website, the job description, also on the county website, Secretary of State website, so that's just, any questions?
I just one thing, would you clarify why the person needs to be a Democrat? Because in virtually any other employment circumstance that a typical person would be involved in, they can't even ask the question, are you R or a D? So why at the Board of Elections do you ask that question?
Because, like I said, when I talked about nursing homes, we sent bipartisan teams. We work in a bipartisan, mostly equal as possible, division of our office. I'm the director, I'm the Republican, Heather is the deputy director, she's the Democrat. And whenever we have any function, any activity within the office, there is always a Democrat and a Republican in the room or handling a ballot. And even, we have certain rooms that have 2 locks. And there's a Democrat key and a Republican key, and you can't get in that room unless you've got a Democrat and a Republican with their key to get into our vault, our voting room, our absentee processing room. And we're down a Democrat, so that.
So there are significant measures in place for election integrity,
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes,
and that's part of it.
right. Okay.
Yeah, one of the things I love about the system too is that if you are getting an absentee ballot, you get it, and then you send it, and you're not sure whether it's made it through the mail, you can go online and
Right.
verify that it's been received. And it hasn't been counted yet, but it has at least indicated that it's been received, correct? And
Right, you can track
You can
the
actually
ballot.
track that. So it really, I mean, when you look at it, the voter confidence, well, the confidence ought to be there for the voter that, okay, if somehow it might get lost, you would see that it wouldn't show up, in which case you could go to the Board of Elections and have that to basically, you could recast your ballot if it somehow disappears in the mail, correct?
Right,
Yeah.
right, yes. So that's a very good option. It's all right there on our website, that you can go ahead, see, did we receive your application? What day did we get, what day was your ballot mailed out? Did
Mhm.
you receive, did we receive your return ballot? It's all dated right there.
Exactly.
So it's really a nice option.
Oh, indeed. Indeed. Well, very good. What-
So
Thank
the
you.
next election is August 2nd, what I hear? Maybe?
Maybe,
All right.
you know,
To be determined.
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
You just, we don't know until, I guess everybody knows.
If it is August 2nd,
Yes.
what are you going to do about the large precinct at the fairgrounds?
We're discussing it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're discussing that. We've,
Have to find an alternative voting location.
yeah, probably multiple.
Multiple ones, yes, yes.
There are 12 precincts at the fairgrounds, and that's Fair Week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a lot.
All right.
That's a lot of
Well,
people
thank-
to take care of, right?
Yeah. Well, thank you.
All right, thanks, Carol.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. All right. As was mentioned earlier, we do have a commendation regarding Melanie Kasten Kraus on our 40th anniversary with the Society for Handicapped Citizens of Medina County. Whereas it has come to the attention of the Board of Medina County Commissioners that Melanie Kasten Kraus is celebrating her 40th anniversary as an employee of the Society for Handicapped Citizens of Medina County. And whereas Melanie is a compassionate and enthusiastic advocate for those with disabilities. This passion began when she worked in child welfare, having a number of children on her caseload with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And whereas she joined the society on March 1st, 1982, during the first 25 years of her career with the society, Melanie served as Director of Social Services. She managed all processes for admissions, discharges, and benefits care for individuals with developmental disabilities in the residential program. And whereas Melanie was appointed Executive Director of the Society in 2012 and continues to lead the soon-to-be 70-year-old nonprofit to new heights. There has been tremendous growth and change since she began in 1982. And whereas she collaborated with other service providers, including the Medina County Board of Developmental Disabilities, to implement new transportation options, which includes offering non-medical transportation for individuals to get to and from work, as well as secured funding and grants for new vehicles. She collaborated with the MCBDD to initiate Medina County's Employment First Committee, providing new employment opportunities for people with developmental disabilities. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Medina County, Ohio, that Melanie Kasten Kraus be and is hereby commended on her 40th anniversary with the Society for Handicapped Citizens of Medina County.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We don't need a motion.
Don't need a motion.
This motion.
But I will
Okay.
approve as well.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
okay. I think we're all in favor. And I know she's not here
Correct.
for this, but we just wanted to recognize her. I mean, when you think of the Society for Handicapped Citizens, I mean, Melanie's image comes up because she is everywhere. She's been so dedicated. 40 years is outstanding. I just can't, we can't say enough about how great a job she's done and continues to do for the society as well as all of Medina County quality of life. So with that, congratulations. All right, now we open up to a public comment. All right, no comment. All right, I guess we'll now transition into a discussion session. Scott, did you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I just want to remind everyone that with the county's natural gas aggregation program, that Volunteer Energy did file for bankruptcy, and that notices have gone out, and that individuals will be placed on the local service provider, which is Columbia Gas and Dominion. And we are currently in the process of looking at different proposals that have come in for a new provider of natural gas to the aggregation program. So I know I've been receiving a lot of phone calls with people asking me if it's legitimate or not, and it is, and hopefully within the next few weeks we'll have a provider selected. So,
All right, very
Okay.
good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
Amy? Okay, anything? Holly? Stephen? Jeremy?
Just snacking.
Are you serious?
You have the box done yet?
Oh, my God. Okay. So unusual. He's not good. It's his birthday gift to us. John, do you have anything? No. Oh, anybody else? Christina? Okay. We did.
I don't.
You have anything?
I don't have anything.
On the agenda?
Yeah, Scott has been updating me. Debbie's working with Community Action, Wayne Medina, for possibly a collaboration between the two entities for a location, so we will
Oh,
yet to see which way that heads. Excellent.
super. All right, great. Good news. Kathy, did you, one last chance? Okay, all right. We do have a request for executive session to consider the appointment of a public official.
I will make a motion to go into executive session to consider the employment of a public official.
Second.
Moved and second. Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes, we'll have an executive session. We also do have a further discussion presentation, I understand, from community energy advisors, in which case we'll be adjourning after that. So we'll see you all. Everybody have a good week.